Hi there and welcome to my training video on the Yogandha products. My name is Sinead and thank you very much for taking the time to be here with me today, and I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to tell you about my products. So I'm going to be telling you about three things today. The story, basically, how we got here. That's the first one. Second one is the benefits, how they work and the benefits. And then the third is the range. I'm going to take you through the range. So they're the three things that I'm going to cover today. And before we start, I'm going to ask also three things of you. I'm going to ask that you would have a pen and paper, because always when I give this in a live setting, there's always questions. People always think of things to ask. So something's going to pop into your head probably to ask a question or a comment, any feedback, anything at all would be, I'd love to hear. But particularly questions, if there's something on your mind that you'd like to know, if you could scribble it down. So please, if you can, press pause or just grab a pen and paper. So that's the first thing I'm going to ask of you. The second thing is that if at all possible, that you have the products with you, because otherwise it's just, talking and you're listening, but much more fun is to smell the products, to be with the products while you're watching this. Ideally, we'll go through them together. So if at all possible, if you could have the products, that would be cool. And then third of all, if you could just bear in mind, so I'm a yoga teacher and I'm always trying to teach people about posture and breath. So just check how you're sitting, and I'd ask maybe that you try to sit on your sitting bones, which are the two big bones under your bum. So what we tend to do is to sit on our tails, which is the end of the coccyx. Instead of sitting on your tail, stick your tail out and sit on your two sitting bones. So if you could do that, that'd be cool. That'd be sitting properly, and then you'll find that your shoulder blades fall back more easily, and your breath is less compromised, and it's just easier to breathe. So if you just try to be aware of your posture while you're watching this, and also just exhale. And so that's it. So now I'm going to tell you about the story, the benefits and the range. Thank you. So the story of how the products developed is just an organic story. My background is philosophy and human rights, and then I did my teacher training in India to become a yoga teacher. And while I was in India, I had my herbs with me. I'd been using aromatherapy already for years, and I had my herbs with me, and I did Vipassana. That's a 10-day meditation, which is really deep. It's 10 days, 10.5 hours a day seated meditation. And I had my herbs with me, and I just got to a pretty deep state in that, and I had the herbs so I could feel at a very deep level the interaction between the herbs and my own body. I just really felt how they worked, this deep, beautiful symbiosis that we have with nature, with plants. So I came back from India. I was living in Africa at that point. Came back to Africa with my teacher qualification, and also this inspiration to use the herbs with my practice, with teaching. So I did that, and I was making up products for students on an ad hoc basis. When they wanted something, I would make something up. But my students asked me basically to make them properly, to put them out there into the world. So that's what I did. I asked them for their intentions, what they wanted to manifest in their lives and in their practice, and they gave me their intentions, and I went off and spent 3 years meditating and blending. So it was quite a deep 3 years of just working with oils and in a sort of meditative state and formulating, and this is the result. This is what came out. So they're pretty deep where they come from, and so yeah, I hope you like them. And then the packaging also is, I'm really lucky. It was my neighbour who did the packaging. At that point I'd moved back to Dublin, and he was living beside me, and he just really got the concept of what I was trying to do, and he did the packaging, and I'm so pleased. He did such a good job. The packaging is post-recycled. It has no glue. The way he designed them, they close without glue, so they're compostable, and they're just really beautiful. The design is based on the Fibonacci sequence, which is how all organic life grows. And the colors, they're colored in line with the chakras. They're just perfect, which is the main thing I think about the brand, is that everything fits. I think that happens when you do yoga or meditation or anything like that. Everything just falls into place. So it just fits. And so that's the story. That's how we're here. And so that's it. So now I'm going to tell you about the benefits and also take you through the range. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the benefits and how to use them. So that is that's the most exciting bit, because the benefits are, it's so exciting really when you discover 100% natural products and how good for you they are. It's kind of like coming home in a way, back to nature. So word about natural products, you probably know that the more natural your products can be, the better. Just this symbiosis that I talked about earlier, and your body just loves them. Your body loves natural. And so you probably already know that you're surrounded by a lot of products that aren't natural, that there's a lot of chemicals in them, and to move as close to natural as you can is great. But another word on natural is that they have a shelf life. So the reason that those other products are full of chemicals is because that stabilizes them. They can sit on the shelf for ages and it's no problem. With these, that's not the case. They're almost like fresh fruit, like a bowl of fruit, and they've got to be treated like that. They've got to be, you've got to keep an eye on them to make sure that they're within their shelf life. The shelf life is a year, but just to make sure you're using the oldest stock first. To keep an eye on the testers, because once they're opened, they've only got about 6 months in them when they're opened. So to just keep an eye on the testers, just have a squirt, see if they still smell fresh and vibrant, because that's the way they should smell, and that's how they have maximum effect. So the benefits of the products of using natural are same like fresh fruit. You know, it's fresh and the body just absorbs them, and they have an incredible effect on the body. We'll go through the individual benefits when we go through the range, but basically the benefits of natural are multi-layered, multifaceted. And another thing which is beautiful is that there's this thing called the wisdom of the herb, which is if I put a herb on my body, say marjoram, the sweet marjoram in the Muscle Soothe and also in Relax, and if I put that on my body and you put that on your body, it'll do a different thing in each of our bodies, which I think is just pretty amazing. It's called the wisdom of the herb. The herb goes to where it's needed, which, you know, when you're hearing this, you're probably going, yeah, I don't know about that. But also I probably think 1,000 years ago, people were going, yeah, of course, you know, people had a greater appreciation for nature and how cool nature was. Nowadays it sounds almost outlandish, but basically, if marjoram is good for muscles and it's good for chest conditions. So if I have a chest condition and you have a muscular issue, it'll go to where it's needed. They've done tests and they found greater concentration of the herb where it was needed. So that's just an indication of how powerful, how awesome these products are. And so that's it. So how they work is 2 ways. The olfactory system, which is the breathing system. When you breathe them in, it affects the brain immediately and you can feel that. And then the second way is through the skin. When you put them on, it goes through the skin. They're absorbed through the skin. So that's important to know how they work, those 2 ways. And it's good to know as well that they are absorbed. You know, what you put on your skin is absorbed. That's a good reason not to use chemicals, and it's a good reason to use natural. And it's good to know that it's super nourishing for the skin, because if chemical laden products are put on the skin and the body doesn't really recognize them, they won't be fully absorbed. Whereas if it's 100% natural, then it'll be fully absorbed into the skin. The body knows oil, it produces oil itself, and it'll absorb it and it'll nourish the inner layers. So that's a word about the benefits and how they work. So next we're going to go through the range. So now to take you through the range for you to meet my babies. So there's 6 of them, and we'll start with the roller balls. So there's 3 little roller balls, and here they are. And so we'll start, I think, with the yellow one, which is called Salute. So it's called Salute. Sun Salute is something we do in yoga. It's uplifting and it's all very kind of wakey uppy, and that's the little uppy one. So I've got a tester here. It's got sort of almost little sunshiny symbol on it. And how to apply is super important as well, because people are often looking at them going, you know, they don't even know what to do with them. Is that a little deodorant or what do I do? But there are more roller balls around now, so I think people are kind of copying onto it, and people love the easiness of it. So how you put it on is here, and then the main thing is to get them to smell it. because then they can feel, so this one is full of rosemary, it's uplifting, so they can feel it straight away, the effect. So then you can put it here. I tend to put it there in my hand. You can put it on directly as well, here, here, and here, here. Pulse point, same as perfume, because that's where the pulse is, and so that's how it's most easily absorbed in the body. And that's actually a question we get asked, is are they perfumes? So are they perfumes is kind of a big question. I would tend to say, you can, if you have time, tell them perfume is traditionally a wellness product, and perfume was originally did good first, smelt good second. Nowadays it's been taken over by the big chemical houses who it smells good, full stop, it doesn't do any good. And I always think, nature still smells amazing. They're only full of chemicals because of that stabilizing factor, but to use nature on the skin is great, with one caveat. People are always talking about how long a perfume lasts, and do these last? That's another big question. Do they last? You put them on the skin and you yourself won't smell them after, it depends, it's different on different people, but certainly after an hour you yourself probably won't smell them. Other people might smell them off you, but because of habituation you won't smell it off yourself. So basically what happens is they're absorbed, like I said, they're absorbed into the skin. So if you want something that you put on you that's going to last all day, that's not this. These are absorbed in the skin. That's really the point of them. They're absorbed and they're utilized by the body. So that's really the point of them. So they're a perfume in the traditional sense of they do good first and smell good second, but they're not the thing you put on you if you want to last all day. The overall body ones, actually, they do kind of last all, just because of the coverage. They do last. You can still smell them after many hours. So through the range again, there's the little one here, uplifting. The second one is balance. So that's this one here. No, that's this one here. They each have a symbol on the front, which is the same as the symbol on the front, and it has the writing, of course, on as well, but it's quite small. It's quite hard to read, but the symbol kind of helps you to find it. And then balance. So balance is deeply balancing. It's incredible for the hormonal roller coaster. It's got jasmine, cypress. It's deeply balancing. It's very interesting to see when people smell that one, the effect it has on them. It tends to be the one that has the strongest effect on people. They can either really love it to the point of needing it, and that's again their body sort of possibly needing something that's in it, and the balancing effect of it. Or some people can't smell it. It's quite strange. It's because, again, it's an interaction between the chemicals of the people and the chemicals of the herb, and they're very different with different people. It's going to be different with everybody. It's super interesting to see the effect that they have on people when they smell them. So that's balance. That's probably my favorite of the little ones. I use it a lot. And then the third of the little ones is grounding. This one here, and that's the red one. For red is the color of the base chakra, and it's very grounding. And this one is sandalwood, cedarwood, frankincense, and myrrh. It's all the traditional stuff used for grounding, for de-stressing, for meditation, just for calming down. So that's that one. They're the three little ones. The salute one, I don't think I told you what was inside. It's grapefruit and bergamot and rosemary, quite a lot of rosemary in there. So that's the uplifting one. At the end of this, I'll just put a list of what's on them so you can just see it again, see it written down. So they're the three little ones. Uplifting, balancing, and grounding. They're the three major effects really that people need, and I always try to say to people that they need all three, because they do. I have all three beside me in the car and in my handbag and in my bedroom, and just at different times I need different ones. When I'm tired, I'll use the uplifting one to get a little lift, just to get me through the day. When I'm stressed, I'll put on the red one just to ground. And when I need balance, so that's more in a sort of a monthly way. Or also the balancing one I use as a perfume, because it's jasmine. It's just beautiful. So they're the three little ones. Through the body oils. So there's 3 body oils as well, and they are detox, muscle soothe, and relax. So those ones, in a way, it's quite simple because it does what it says on the bottle. Detox has all the usual herbs that you'd find in a detox tea, because what herbs do, they do. But it's actually interesting to know that how powerful these are. So 1 drop of peppermint oil, of pure essential oil of peppermint, has the same strength as 26 cups of peppermint tea. That's a lot of peppermint tea. So you can see how strong these are and how it's just a simple way for really good quality herbs to get onto you and get into you. So detox has lemongrass, juniper berry. It also has sweet fennel and a few more herbs besides, orange in there, and it's in a base of coconut and grapeseed. Grapeseed is quite astringent. So in the little ones, I don't know if I mentioned the base oil, I don't think I did. They're all in coconut, fractionated coconut. The big ones I did in different oils depending on the result that I wanted to achieve. So here the base oils are quite detoxing also. So that's detox. Muscle Soothe it's got organic ginger, it's got sweet marjoram, again it's got more herbs besides, petitgrain, a few more herbs besides, and it's in a base of sweet almond oil, which is great for muscles. And then finally we have Relax, which is super relaxing. That's probably my favorite of the body oils. So Relax has blue chamomile. You can almost see, actually, if you look closely, it's kind of blue in color. It's got blue chamomile and lavender and vetiver, deep rooted Indian grass, and it smells beautiful. It's really earthy. This one, it's just so relaxing. It's like, as soon as you smell it, it just takes you down another level of just deep. So so they're the 3 big ones. How you would use them, that's in a base of Relax is in a base of sweet almond and sesame, and actually this one I use as a face oil because it's got, well, sesame is great, and also frankincense. It's got a lot of frankincense in it, which is the best thing for the skin. So how to use them though otherwise, so face oil is an option, that's what I do, but also just put it on all over. You can use them after shower every morning, after bath. You can also use them, some people use them in the shower. I use them a lot in the bath. So if you have a bath, it's nicer to put them in and sit in them, and then you breathe them in. So just as a body oil. You can also use them for massage. We get asked that a lot, and yeah, totally suitable for massage. Also really recommend for couples massage. It's really nice. It's really bonding and just really beautiful sensual thing to do. Just any kind of massage at all, they're perfect. And for self massage also, I try to teach self massage, which is just basically putting oil on yourself, but doing it a bit mindfully, a bit slowly, a bit with awareness. So additional benefits also I want to go through. So the additional benefits of detox are, it is very, very good for if you go out at night, if you go out and have a party and overindulge, the next day it's incredible, it really is. So if you go out and you come back in, if you come into work the next day, if you just grab the tester, put some on your hands and breathe, so that would be the very minimum, and you'll feel it immediately. If you have it, if you can, just sneakily put some on your liver and kidneys, so basically around the core, and then, but ideally if you have it at home, which would be the best, then you would put it in the bath. If you have a bath, sit in the bath, breathe, and your head just clears. Then get out of the bath and cover yourself in it, and you feel perfect. It's total forgiveness. That's additional benefit of detox. Additional benefit of Muscle Soothe, it's also actually good for chest conditions because it's the ginger and sweet marjoram, both which are good for chest. And Relax, additional benefit is great for sleep. Face oil, so that's kind of one reason as well I wear it every night before I go to bed, because great for the skin, but also it helps you sleep. It just sends you off. So there are additional benefits of them, and that's how you wear them. You just put them on, and they last about a year. And the testers, I think you should change every 6 months, but at home they last about a year. It depends how you store them. Try to keep them away from the light. So that is the body oils, the 3 body oils. So now, just to finish up, a few final words. I just wanted to thank you, and also I wanted to tell you a joke, and also I just want to tell you a few words on selling the product, my experience of selling the product. So I might do that in reverse order actually. So few words on selling the product. So what I would do is just introduce people to the product basically. Ideally, if you can have some time yourself when it's quiet, just to go over and really feel the products, experience them, put them on, breathe them and just see if you can feel how it makes you feel. Just try to connect with it, because actually what you're connecting with is very old knowledge. It's very old wisdom. The sense of smell is a really old part of the brain, the limbic brain. So just try to connect with that, and then when people come in, just introduce them to whichever one. I wouldn't go with all 6, because that's a little bit much. It can overpower people, and then they just go, well, that's too much, and they just walk away because it's overpowering. So I would just try maybe 1 or 2 or 3, and that could be benefits driven. Often that's the best way to do it. So if people are stressed, then they might try the grounding one. Also, if they're yogis, the grounding one, because it's sandalwood, cedarwood, classic yoga smells. It's got frankincense, which slows and deepens the breath. So I would introduce them to that one, the grounding one. I also use, I also offer that one to men because it's quite a masculine smell. So that's the grounding, and I would also offer them relax, because it's just super relaxing and it will relax them. So if they can put it on in the morning time after the shower, or at night, so that'll relax them. So if they're stressed, it's those 2. If they're tired, which a lot of people are nowadays, it would be the uplifting one. So people just, they love that, something that will lift them, that's healthy, because there are not many healthy ups in our society. So that's the uplifting one. It's also very good for jet lag, actually, because it's got a lot of grapefruit, which balances the pineal gland. So that is the uplifting one, salute. And then also possibly detox, because it's quite uplifting. Just if you put it on the shower, after the shower in the morning, it just makes you happy. You just put it on and it just lifts you. So that is if somebody's tired. Also if they're hormonal, if there's hormonal, so basically if you're female, balance is super balancing for the hormonal cycle. It's balancing on every level, both for the masculine and feminine though. And also I use that one as a perfume, as I said. It's an aphrodisiac. There's 7 herbs in there. All of them are aphrodisiacs. I didn't mean to do that, but when you work with nature, it's stuff like that happens. So that's balance, great for hormonal. So for teenagers, or for women at different stages, all women really. Benefits, that's the main benefits. Obviously, if somebody was detoxing, detox would be great to put together as part of a detox program. And it's also very good for cellulite, the detox one. So that is so benefits is a good way to sell them. Also, I would say you might come across a bit of skepticism, because people go, what, sense of smell doesn't do anything. People feel that, people think that at least. So that's quite interesting, and it's really because the sense of smell is a pre-rational thing, and people don't rate that. Our society doesn't really rate the pre-rational, the primal. But as soon as you speak to somebody for just 1 minute, they'll get it. So if you just talk to them about the sense of smell and how it makes them feel, they'll get it. They'll say, oh yeah, it's true. When I smell something, I feel. And then they're talking with their bodies and they're feeling, and that's when that's really what matters. That people they know it in their oldest part of their wisdom. So I'd like just for you to try to access that, and then to share that with people, because it's fun to reconnect people with that old wisdom that they have. And one little one that I love is so how the sense of smell isn't rated at all in our society, or even at this stage actually internally. So when you smell milk and it's gone off, you always smell it a second time, but you knew it was gone off the first time, but you always smell it a second time. And that's just basically what that is the pre-rational, the old sense of smell knew it was gone off, but the rational always second guesses that it doesn't trust the old primal brain. So that's what we're dealing with now in our very rational society. People are going, sense of smell, no, it does nothing. But as soon as you talk to people about feelings, how does it make you feel, then they're, actually, yeah, this really makes me feel great, and that's really what I want. So it's fun just to talk to people about that, and it's super fun to watch people experiencing the products, because it's, when they smell something, it might bring them back somewhere, because the sense of smell is so powerful, and it's atemporal. It actually brings people back physiologically, which is why one reason it's so powerful. So just to watch people breathe the products, feel them, And all of that feeling tends to show on their face. You know, they tend to go, wow, and they're really strong feelings, and it's so beautiful just to watch that interaction. So first of all, for you yourself to enjoy that and use it in your life, you know, just to use the products to make yourself feel good, and watch and enjoy introducing people to that as well. So that's a word about selling the products. And I'd ask you, you know yourself, big brands move very easily because people come in and people ask for them. And this product, as you know, is teeny weeny. It's really very, very small. So it, you know, people won't come in looking for it because they don't know it. I don't have any marketing budget or anything. So so please do and tell people about them. That would be just great. You know, just share them. That would be really great. So that is the word on selling the products. Then I wanted to tell you a joke. So my joke is, why is the Dalai Lama not very good at hoovering? So the Dalai Lama is not very good at hoovering because he doesn't have any attachments. So that's my joke. And then finally, all there's left for me to do is just to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, for spending this time with me, but for more than anything, for selling my products. Thank you so much for sharing them with the world. Thank you. Because it's all pretty much in your hands now. I've brought it as far as I can. I've brought them out into the world, but now it's really in your hands. So please do tell people about them, and enjoy that process, and thank you so much for any help you do give me with sharing this with people, and please do feedback, any thoughts, any questions, any jokes, and thank you.